No, it was miserable. It was miserable. The races here are generally, unless you're first and in the lead, even when you're in the lead, it's not that fun. So it's just a nice reward at the end. But other than that, anything but first is kind of empty.
Yeah, stressful race. It's a lot of laps for things to go wrong, but an incredible race. We won Monaco, which has been a dream of mine since I was a kid. It's one race that everyone wants to win. Of course, when you pole yesterday, it's like job one done, but it feels like more pressure coming into today. So to finally get it done, and to be able to relax and enjoy it, because I think, maybe only the last lap I could smile a little bit and enjoy the rest of it. I'm like, there's still a lot of things you need to get right on a day like today, but we did. So I have to say a big thanks to the team. But of course, a win in Monaco is incredible.
I cannot be infinitely disappointed with yesterday. Yesterday was a big disappointment, and I think eventually we lose the race of today by missing pole yesterday. But it's the way it is. Honestly, for the car we have and for the situation we are in at the moment, I'm very satisfied with our overall result. We never expected to fight the McLarens this weekend. And here we are, and we were very close of winning that race. So I'm proud of what we've achieved. I'm happy that we come back home with quite a few more points. And yeah, disappointed to not be on the top step, but Lando did a great job, and congrats to him.
I knew after qualifying this was probably going to be where we ended up. So, yep. That's all I can ask for, really. So some definite lessons to take for when we come back here next year, but all in all, still not a terrible weekend in terms of points, and being on the podium in Monaco is always pretty special, so I'll take it.
Yeah, honestly, there was not much for us to improve on, because I had a big gap behind. So for us to just stay out and maybe hope for a red flag or whatever, was the only option. We could have pitted sooner, but then you just sit there in fourth anyway.
No, it's miserable. It's miserable. The races here are generally, unless you're first and in the lead, even when you're in the lead, it's not that fun. So it's just a nice reward at the end. But other than that, anything but first is kind of empty.
Perfect weekend for me. It was honestly, yesterday I had a lot of fun, a lot more fun than today. But still, the race was perfectly executed. Liam helped me massively. It was a great teamwork, and also he helped me, but he also got points. So I'm really happy, for him.
A really great weekend all around. We really didn't put a foot wrong. From qualifying to the race, we put everything together when it mattered. So really happy for that. It's 6 points for the team, which is a big thing. So very satisfied with this.
It's something that not often you have a plan and you execute it perfectly, and we're able to do that today. So for our fight in the midfield, it's very important. From my side, it's great to get some points. Obviously, I think honestly we should have started higher from yesterday, but that's on me. So going forward, obviously some changes in Barcelona that we're going to have to try and adapt to.
Great. It's not really how we want to go racing. I don't like going racing like that. I think in the end it's a tactical game, and we had to make it work. The RB started it, and we knew if they started it, we've got to match it, and it just makes this messy race. So could have brought a pillow in the car and a coffee and just chilled out for a little bit, but in a weird way it's even actually quite hard to keep your focus when you're driving around that slowly. It's not pretty, but I'm glad we got points for the team.
It's a good sign that the team 9 and 10th, we will be coming out of the weekend frustrated. Before, Williams 9th and 10th was a huge result, so I'll take that as a positive. I've had a bit of an off weekend until the race. In the race I felt quick, but we need to make sure we're back on the pace in Barcelona, even though Barcelona should be a trickier track for us.
And obviously at one point I just said screw it. I want to enjoy Monaco. I didn't get the chance in quali yesterday. I got 25 laps driving, qualifying laps every lap. I enjoyed that at least. and ironically, I finished in a higher position by taking the drive-through penalty than I would have if I didn't. So, unfortunately, the system's flawed.
Yeah, I think we did the maximum. Congrats first of all to Esteban. I'm really happy that the team scored some points today. That's a really nice feeling after a difficult weekend on my side of the garage. Yeah, there was no points today on the table with the way the race panned out.
Starting from P20, quali in P20, it's just very tricky, you know, here to get to the points. But P13 was kind of the maximum we could have done. Just started on the wrong tire and, you know, trying to go very long to help Pierre, but Pierre race was quite short. So yeah, switched quite early to an early stop and just a lot of laps on that second medium, and yeah, made our race a bit tricky. Some people already undercut us before, so yeah, difficult race, but overall just need to work towards the next couple of races.
Well, it's a shame of what happened in there, you know, in the first lap. I think I managed to make a very solid move on, you know, in T6 in the hairpin. So it was very nice by the outside and gaining that position. And I don't know, I mean, obviously he doesn't want to see any car ahead of him. Losing a position in Monaco is quite embarrassing. It's bad because, you know, normally, historically, you don't lose position, but you don't gain as well. And I think he tried a very optimistic move there. It's a shame because I think we could have tried some nice stuff today in the strategy. But then the race was quite boring after, with everyone doing team race, you know, team plays and everything. And yeah, couldn't do much more than what I did.
Yeah, it's Monaco. You know, when you have a tough Saturday, Sunday's always a challenge. So yeah, it was always going to be tricky from the back today.
You put it down, lack of performance. You need to help yourself. You know, push your own luck. If you start ahead, you avoid all this trouble. Yeah, and you know, we have work to do. We're getting an upgrade for next weekend in Barcelona, which obviously I'm excited about, and hope, you know, this will give us a step forward. Yeah, but yeah, after today, I don't know, happy to get going again next week and get this one out of the system.
Yeah, I mean, the impact was, yeah, I don't know if I had damage or not, but anyway, was all right, and I just, you know, teams play around the strategy and kind of as I expected, and I mean, if you're driving from P12, I mean, yeah, nothing you can do much. So, yeah, I mean, I had to, yeah, qualify better.
Yeah, I mean, nothing more could have done there. I was just trying to help the team as much as possible, and yeah, at least, you know, the last 5 laps I could have pushed, which you know, was fun. But yeah, it was also kind of expected. You know, when you start this match in back in Monaco, you know, it's going to be really hard to make up places. And yeah, but I also believe that you know, I shouldn't have been in that position as well. You know, the mistake definitely of yesterday was costly, and I'll make sure I don't make it again, and I'll try to bounce back in Barcelona.
Yeah, disappointed because yeah, I think the race was difficult from our side. We had to manage many things. Since lap 15 we had a air problem, so we didn't have the electrical part of the engine, so yeah, it was 160 horsepower less. Here in Monaco it's not crucial, the power, so we kept the 6th position alive for quite long, but yeah, at the end the engine stops, and yeah, it was not the end of the weekend that we wanted, but yeah, today it is not down to luck. You know, it's not that a wrong safety car or something came from the sky and hit our car. Today was something wrong on our engine that we need to investigate and try to improve for next time.
Yeah, I just didn't expect Yuki to move in the braking out of the tunnel. I made a mistake the corner before. I was very close, and every lap he was braking on the right. This lap he started braking on the left, and I went to the normal line, and then he moved back onto the...
Celebrating your win. Today, not quite the win, but considering how you felt the car was leading up to this race, reasonably happy?
Not really, but at the end of the day, I mean, we lost the race yesterday, and we should have done a better job. Lando did a better job this weekend, and he deserves the win. And on my side, yeah, I realized a childhood dream last year. Not this year, but considering everything, I think it's a lot above our expectations coming here. I did not expect. I thought that being in the top 10 would be a challenge. At the end, we are second, very close to P1. So it's been a good weekend overall. But yeah, I wish I won.
With all the traffic out there today, with the 2-stop strategies, it must have put you on edge a little bit more than normal. And then the last few laps, you were able to really put Lando under that big pressure. It was great for us watching. How was it from inside the car?
Oh, it was good as well from inside the car, because before that it was a little bit boring. I had to leave a gap to Lando because otherwise I would overheat everything, so I couldn't be so close. Then when I saw Max was playing the long game, I guess he was waiting for a red flag. That helped me a little bit to put a bit more pressure on Lando, but wasn't enough.
Lastly, have you got a message for your supporters, the Monegasque crowd?
Yeah, as I always say, as a Ferrari driver, we are very lucky. We get support everywhere, but being born here and seeing all the Monegasque behind me is something very special. We are not many Monegasque, but yeah, it warms my heart very much to be at home and to have so much support. So yeah, I wish I had given them the first place, but yeah, hopefully next year.
Thanks, John.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you.
You came to Monaco, obviously, for the win. You go away with the podium. You must be pretty happy with that, though.
Yeah, obviously the win would have been better, but it's been a bit of a tricky weekend. Practice was messy all the way through, and I felt like I got into qualifying with not a lot of confidence with how the weekend was going, and I got close, but not quite close enough. And you know, around here, where you qualify is pretty much where you're going to finish. So pretty happy with that overall. Obviously, some things to look at for when we come back next year, but some more points on the board. Another trip to the podium in Monaco, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, well, in practice, you obviously put it into the wall with Saint-Devant front end in. So to come back with a podium, such a good team effort, and for this to be a bad weekend for you and still be on the podium, I think you've got a lot to be happy with.
Yeah, exactly. The margins are so fine, and like you said, if this is a bad weekend, then it's not going too badly at all. So yeah, some things to work on. We'll go again next week and try and come back stronger, but well done to Lando. He's had a great weekend. Well done to Charles as well. It's been quick as usual, so yeah, happy and see you on the podium.
Congrats, and still our championship leader.
Thank you. Cheers.
Norris, you just won the Monaco Grand Prix. How good does that feel?
It feels amazing. It's a long race. It's a long, rolling race. But good fun. You know, we could push for quite a lot of the race. The last quarter was a little bit nervous with Charles close behind and Max ahead, but we won in Monaco, so it doesn't matter how you win, I guess. But yeah, an amazing weekend with Paul, with today. This is what I dream of. This is what I did dream of when I was a kid, so I achieved one of my dreams. But I think it was you. I saw you in front of my car before the start, and I was like, if JV's here now, then
I'll always take
it's my
credit.
good luck charm.
And you also said Monaco Baby, which I thought I owned, but
was it
obviously not.
yours? I apologize.
But you know, most people say that you win Monaco on the Saturday in qualifying. Such an exceptional job, but you still got to get it done on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Lovely start, and then the pressure you put under, and all of those cars you had to overtake during the race. It must have been quite tense.
It is. I mean, the worst bit really was just the end. You know, I felt quite under control the whole race. But Max was ahead, and Max was kind of backing it up a little bit. And I knew then that's when Charles had the opportunity. So I had to manage it quite a lot. I tried to back off of Max so I could push when I needed to and chill when I needed to. So I still had to manage. It was still a well-fought race. But I'm very happy. My team are very happy. And therefore, we're going to have a wonderful night.
We'll let you go and celebrate with your team and family. Thank you,
so
Lando.
much. Cheers, man.
I saw you congratulating Isaac there. It was a really strong day for the Racing Bulls.
Yeah.
Talk me through your thoughts on the way that they had to go racing. I mean, this was more about pit stops than it was out-and-out racing. What are your reflections on that?
Yeah, but you can't race here anyway, so it doesn't matter what you do. 1 stop, 10 stops. Yeah, you just, I mean, even at the end, right? I was in the lead, but my tires were completely gone, and you still can't pass. I think nowadays, with an F1 car, you can just pass a Formula 2 car around here.
Were you glad in a way that Formula 1 are at least trying to address the issue of Monaco?
Yeah, but yeah, of course. I mean, I get it, but I don't think it has worked.
And what could work, do you think? Perhaps bring them in within a certain window?
I don't know. Yeah, but then honestly, we were almost doing Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Then we have to install bits on the car. Maybe you can throw bananas around. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll do it.
Slippery surface.
Sure. Do you know, right at the end there, it felt like you were just hanging on in case there was like a safety car, red flag, whatever. I mean, it wasn't to be, but ultimately that's still a strong finish for you, P4, considering you weren't feeling that good about the car coming into the weekend.
There was nothing to lose, right? I had a big gap behind, so like I said, I think I could have done 4 stops. Still the same position for me, but that's Monaco for you. Qualifying is super important. Normally when nothing bad happens, of course, you don't really move forward. And if you just do normal pit stops, then you just keep your position, and that's exactly what happened today. I don't think we also had the pace anyway to fight the guys ahead, because every time I tried to stay with them, my tires were wearing a bit too much and graining a bit too much. But yeah, P4 is definitely the maximum we could do.
Thanks so much.
Charles Leclerc didn't crash this time, nor did Ferrari fumble strategy. But still, Monaco ended the same way. For someone else, Lando Norris bagged the win and Oscar Piastri stayed top of the standings. Disappointingly, Lewis Hamilton barely showed up in the story. The 2025 Monaco Grand Prix gave us sharp answers about Ferrari's ability, McLaren's rise, and whether Formula One even knows what to do with this race anymore. Leclerc didn't need a debrief to explain what happened. He said it straight. The race was decided in qualifying, and he's right. He qualified second while Norris took pole. 78 laps later, nothing changed. The race had no overtakes or real threats. Only mandatory tyre swaps kept on flashing, which were driven by unpopular regulations. According to Ferrari's golden boy, second was more than he expected from the weekend, but his expression said otherwise. He probably knows this was his best chance yet to finally win at home, and he never got close. Lando Norris didn't back into this one. He managed his tyres flawlessly, executed the pit strategy, and never looked tense. Post-race, he said it was one of the best days of his life. He even joked about how he would show the highlights to his kids one day. There was no controversy or story-stirring propaganda. The McLaren star made it a straightforward, well-managed race, and that's exactly what Ferrari could not create. Yes, Leclerc stayed close. In fact, pretty close, but he was never in a position to strike. Historically, in Monaco, unless the leader makes a mistake or the pit stop goes wrong, second place is as high as you can go, and that's what Ferrari accepted. Ferrari did everything by the numbers. The team's pit strategy followed the rulebook, and it reacted to McLaren's stops. Moreover, the red camp kept both drivers in clean air. Carlos Sainz ran a solid race. He didn't interfere with Leclerc, nor did he risk track position. However, he didn't challenge Norris either. Ferrari didn't try an early stop to push a move. Also, it didn't call for a split strategy to put pressure on McLaren. It simply followed the race flow and hoped something would open up. Unfortunately, in Monaco, that rarely works. Well, undoubtedly, Lewis Hamilton has been one of the most successful drivers in Monaco's history. The Briton knows how to manage a tight circuit and squeeze performance out of a difficult setup. But surprisingly this season, he was almost invisible. He qualified mid-pack, stayed in traffic, and didn't have the pace to challenge the front runners. On top of those, he didn't have much to say about it afterward. George Russell was the one commenting on the format, but Hamilton chose to keep quiet. Max Verstappen didn't finish on the podium, and he wasn't in the fight for the win. However, indeed, he had the sharpest line of the day. When asked about the mandatory two-stop rule, he said Formula One might as well add banana peels next time. His Mario Kart comparison wasn't just for laughs, he meant it. The new rule, which required drivers to use all 3 tyre compounds, did nothing to change the race. There were no major undercuts, and nobody made up ground. Verstappen's frustration reflected what many drivers felt, that Monaco is now a track where creativity is punished. You can change the tyres and tweak the format. However, if there's no space to pass, there's no race to run. In 2021, Leclerc crashed in qualifying and never made the start. In 2022, Ferrari boxed him at the wrong time and lost the win. This time there was no mess, everything worked well, and still he couldn't win. That's the part that stings. Leclerc didn't get outdriven, nor did he misjudge conditions. He was just stuck, and Ferrari didn't try to get him unstuck. That's how the story looked like. Leclerc said the car felt better than expected. He was happy with the setup. He also said the team is learning and building toward bigger results. But he knows how hard it is to win in Monaco. and how rare these chances are. He's now 5 starts into his F1 career at home with no wins. The Scuderia camp is in a strange place. It's not making massive errors, but it's not pushing forward either. It's simply letting races happen. Is that how championships are won? Analysts believe if Ferrari wants to compete with McLaren and Red Bull, it has to start taking control of race weekends, instead of waiting for openings that never come. If you've been rooting for Leclerc to finally conquer, let us know what you think Ferrari should have done differently, and don't forget to subscribe for more exciting F1 breakdowns.